Okay, firstly, let's pay homage our Buddha. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. So, this class is to learn the Pali. So that is why today is very fast day. So I need to introduce Pali a little bit. So when we say Pali, we need to know clearly. Pali sometimes referring to the Bali Bidaka. So Bali Bidaka means discourses taught by the Blessed One. So at the time when you say Pali, okay, which one do you mean? So we should know clearly. So Pali Bidaka, when you say Pali, so sometimes discourses. So taught by the Blessed One. So that means Pali Canon. Okay. So Pali Canon also in Pali Bidaka, also sometimes so as a short name we call the Bali. But sometimes so we say the Bali to refer to the language, Bali Bhasa. Okay, Bali Bhasa. So at the time, Bali Bhasa means so language so used by the Blessed One when he taught his discourses to his disciples, and also not only by the Blessed One, so but also his disciple who explained the teachings of the Buddha, like the Atthakatha in Pali, or commentaries, and then sub-commentary, Diga, we call. So those that language is called, so shortly we call it Bali. Okay, so that is why firstly when we say Bali, so we should know clearly what is Bali. So we refer to Pali Bidaka, Pali Canon, or the Pali language. So now this class is Pali made easy for beginners. Okay, here in this name, Pali refers to the Bali Bhasa, Pali language. Okay, so when we learn the Pali language, so we need to know thoroughly what kind of language is Pali, because that is very important. So to explore how it is formed grammatically, even in a word or in a sentence or in a phrase. So that is why to know what is Pali language is very important. So at that time, when we say Pali language, we need to know the Indo-Aryan language family, roughly. So Indo-Aryan, okay, for a while. So Pali is, you know, uh, a family language of the Indo-Aryan. Indo-Aryan, belong to the, India. So Indian languages. So Indian languages can be divided into, three kinds roughly. So one is called the, Old Indo-Aryan. Old Indo-Aryan. That is very ancient. Very ancient. So from that prime language, that kind, so nowadays we can trace that Vedic Sanskrit. Vedic Sanskrit. So from the Vedic Sanskrit, other language are, become branches. So those are called the, Middle Indo-Aryan. So later then the that Vedic. So in that Middle Indo-Aryan language family, so classical Sanskrit, nowadays we know Sanskrit language. That is classical Sanskrit we called, not Vedic. Vedic is very ancient than that, classical. And also Pali. Maybe when I say Pali, so at that time we don't use that name Pali, but later nowadays we know Pali. Maybe at that time Magadhi or Prakrit or something. Okay, whatever maybe. Here I don't point out that one. So just a family language of the Indo-Aryan. That point I want you to understand. Okay, so Pali is a kind of the family language of the Indo-Aryan. So that is why, in we are, forming word or sentence structure are, very related to that Sanskrit, but not exactly the same. Okay, partly or partially related. So that is why later when I teach you how the word is formed, or so at that time, unavoidably, I need to, refer the Sanskrit word to understand clearly in Pali stage. So that is why I introduced that one. And also related to that one, new Indo-Aryans are nowadays, Hindi or Bengali or Sinhala or maybe anything. So those are new Indo-Aryan languages. Okay. So now, Pali is a kind of the Indo-Aryan family language, maybe belong to the Middle Indo-Aryan family languages. Okay. And then, so when we know the Pali, so that, no, Pali is inflected language. So like the classical Sanskrit or Vedic Sanskrit, Pali is inflected language and inflected language. So here, inflected means, uh, you know, any kind of that language. So what form, based on their function in the sentence, their ending can be changed, maybe case ending, or by adding case ending or something like that. So the same way word or verb form also refers to past person, at the time one form, refers to first person plural, at the time another form, or refers to second person, also will be another form. So based on person, based on number, and based on tense, their form slightly change. So the language which has such a nature is called the inflected language. So that is why, Pali is an inflected language. That's why we need to know that. So now you know Pali is a nature of an inflected language. So, and then like the other languages, so Pali also has their own alphabet. Uh, here, I mean alphabet, not script. Not script. Alphabet and script are different. So Pali has their own script because very ancient. So nowadays, so we Myanmar, we use our Myanmar script, or Western language countries, they use, Roman script. And the India, they use their, the Devanagari script. And in the Sri Lanka, they use their own, Sinhalese script. So that means script and alphabet are different. Okay. So Pali has their own alphabet, but no script, its own. So now, so Pali is like the other languages, has their own the alphabet. So, and then, this one we need to know that. So, Ekara Samuho Badan. That is Pali sentence, very basic. Ekara Samuho. Ekara means alphabet. Ekara means alphabet. Samuho means combination or group. So group of alphabets become the word. But that means word. So group of alphabet become a word. So that is, the script of the alphabet in Pali. We need to know that. And also, so Bada Samuho Wakya. So Bada mean here what you already know that. Samuho also we already know that group. So group of words become the Wakya. So Wakya means sentence. So Bada Samuho Wakya. Group of words become a sentence. Okay, so now firstly, we need to know the alphabet. Before going to the, you know, uh, okay, alphabets, one more information, we need to know that. So Pali is like the other languages. Pali also has its own, part of speech, its own part of speech, but number is different. So for part of speech in Pali. So those are okay. I will use Nama because a little bit different from the other. Later I will explain. And the second one is Akeada. And that one is Ubasega. And the last one is, Nibbata. Nibbata. Okay, here Pali word nama, roughly we can translate as a, noun form. But nama also noun form actually. But later, now when we say nama in Pali, that is quite different from the other language, maybe in English. So when we say noun in English, so noun refers to noun, not refers to the pronoun or adjective or anything. But in Pali, when we say nama, under the nama, so adjective, a pronoun, and the numeral, so like that, such a word are also go under the term nama. That is why I use original term nama. But roughly we can say nama mean noun. Okay, and the archaeata. So archaeata is buff. Okay, buff is buff. That is the same as the English. And then the other one is ubaseka. Ubaseka. The word ubaseka literally mean also prefix. Prefix. So adding to the root, especially at the very beginning of adding to the verb. Later we will learn detail. Now roughly introduction. So ubaseka prefix. And the last one is here. Nibbata means indeclinable or particle. Particle. But the last two are, indeclinable. Or so the other way we can say, among these four parts of speech, the first two, nama and archaeata, are inflected. So they can be changed based on number, based on person, based on tense, or based on case in the sentence. Nama also can be changed or can be inflected. Archaeata, verb also can be inflected. Okay. But the last two, ubaseka and nibbata, are so uninflected, or we call the indeclinable particle, indeclinable one. So they never change their form, even though they are used in the sentence or added to the verb, added to the noun. They never change their form. So that is they are indeclinable. Okay. So now let's go back to the first two, nama and the archaeata. So nama also inflected, but so to make different from the verb form, so nama we call the declinable. Declinable. So and then those series of words of the nama noun form based on their case ending, so we call the declension. 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 But archaeata. archaea verb form is we call the conjugation. Conjugation. Okay, declinable or conjugation, they are inflected. But so inflection of the nama is called the declension. Inflection of the archaea verb form is called the conjugation. Okay, that is just name, just to understand. But so here the point we need to know is Pali is inflected an inflected language based on person for the noun form based on the function in the sentence. So it can be changed its form. So the same way archaea verb form. So based on the noun person, number, or tenses or moods, it can be changed in its form. But that is inflected. So now, so Pali made easy. So Pali made easy is the name of this book. Author is here Banuriya Balandagoda Ananda Midya Mahatira. So very respected Seattle from Sri Lanka. Now the first chapter is introduction. So introduction. So in the introduction, so in Pali, there are 40 letters. Maybe that's the alphabets, 41 letters or 41 alphabets. So among them, 8 are vowels, and the 33, the rest are consonants. Okay. So, and also later I will explain in detail. Now roughly. So 8 vowels and 33 consonants, and then those 33 consonants are also grouped by the gatra, palatal, or lingual, or dental, and the labial, and the semi-vowel or sibilant or aspirate, and the lingual or nasal. So in this way, they are analyzed. They are grouped. So that is because. So later, when we learn the verb form or noun form, we can see the change of the alphabets. Two different alphabets change to the another similar alphabets in this way. So that is based on this group. So here, gatra means gatra or throat. So those alphabets, the consonants. So ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. The first one, okay, ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. Okay, roughly. So those ga, ka, ga, ga, nga, when we pronounce, we can touch our throat, okay, our neck. So at that time, so we can, feel the, vibration in our throat. That means our throat produce those alphabets, ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. That is, and those 5 alphabets are called the gatra. Gatra means those 5 alphabets come from the, that gatra or throat. So the same way, palate means the upper part of our mouth. Okay. So here, the second group are ja, cha, ja, ja, nya. Ja, cha, ja, ja, nya. So when we pronounce these ja, cha, ja, ja, nya, so our tongue attached to the, palate, our palate. So upper part of, so our mouth. Okay, that place is called the palate. So those 5 consonants come from that palate, place or organ, sense or organ, palate. So that is why they are called the palatal. Okay. And then lingual. So lingual, or the other term for that we call so retroflex. Retroflex. So lingual is not so the very ancient term. Nowadays we use that term, retroflex. So retroflex means when we pronounce those letters, those alphabet, the da, ta, da, da, na, so our tongue, so return back, return inside, turn inside. That is retroflex. So that is when we pronounce the, maybe in English, the door and DH door or D door or DH door or N door. That is just a sign or script. But in Pali, we pronounce, ta, ta, da, da, na. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Later, we will practice. Now just rapidly introduction. But the other one is dented, the same, script, but without dot. They can be pronounced, da, ta, da, da, na, da, ta, da, da, na. At the time, in our mouth, when we pronounce these 5 alphabets, our tongue touched the end of our teeth. So da, ta, da, da, na. You can test it. Da, ta, da, da, na. So that is they come from our teeth. So that is they call it dental. Dental are related to the teeth, right? And the last one is labial. Labial also related to our lips. Lips. So here B, BH, B, BH, B, BH, and the M. That is English pronunciation. But in Pali, we pronounce ba, pa, ba, ma. Ba, pa, ba, ma. When we pronounce these 5 alphabets, we need to close, or we need to touch our lips to each other. By closing, they can pronounce. If we do not close our mouth or our lips, we can't pronounce them. So that is why they are related to our lips, or the other way, they come from the lips. That is why they are called the labial. Okay, so now in the Gatra 5 alphabets, ga, ka, ga, nga. In the palatal, cha, cha, ja, ja, na. In the lingo or retroflex, the da, ta, da, da, na. And in the dentals also da, ta, da, da, na. Little bit different. Lingo is turning our tongue back, da, ta, da, da, na. Okay, but very difficult to us. Maybe easy to the Indian native or Sri Lanka or someone. So because their own language, related to their own language, their mother tongue. So those alphabets are easy to them pronounce. So and the dental is very easy, da 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 na. Okay, and the labial is ba pa ba ba ma. You see, these 5 kinds have each 5 alphabets. They are called the group or Vega group consonants. So from the Gatra 5 consonants, from the palatal 5 consonants, from the lingual or retroflex 5 consonants, from the dental also 5 consonants, from the labial also 5 consonants. So they are called the group consonants, group by group, 5 by 5. Okay, but the others are, even though put them together, they are not related to each other, come from the Gatra or palatal or anything. They don't have any link or any connection between them. So they are grouplet consonants. So ya is semivowel. So semivowel means part, at least vowel, partly consonants. So later when we learn, they can change sometimes to vowel or sometimes they come from the vowel like that. So ya and the wa and the ra and the la. So ya, maybe in English y, right? Y-V-R-L, but in Pali we pronounce ya, wa, ra, la. Okay? And the sibilant. Sibilant means, sound. But sa sound. Okay? Easy to say. Easy to pronounce sa sound. But sibilant means that sound. And the aspirate. Aspirate means, ha, ha sound. Ha. In Pali also ha. And other one also language actually la, the same as this one. But pronunciation is a little bit different with the dot. With the dot. Maybe in Myanmar, we call the small la and the big la or like that. But that is not so related to their term, their usage. So actually, here la is semi-vowel, and the la with the dot is lingual because if we pronounce it, so return la also. And the last one is, m dot, that is nasal. You just sound. It alone cannot be pronounced. So together with the vowel, m. Together with the I vowel, aim. Together with the U vowel, om. So m, aim, om. So if we pronounce those vowels a, I, U, so we close our mouth at the time, the air so goes through our nasal, our nose. So at the time, the sound becomes nasal. So that is why it's called the nasal. Aim, om. Okay. So that is roughly introduction. So now, let's go back to the 8 vowel. So 41 alphabets and the 8 vowels and the 33 consonants. 33 consonants. So altogether 41 alphabets. And then so 8 vowels are also the past vowel is a. A, not a. A. Okay. A. Very short. A. No, if we say will be another vowel. So okay. So that is so equal to 2 So double become the Okay, that is why, when we pronounce vowel, we should not pronounce So other than 2 vowel, it requires 2 vowel. So that is become long. So now we can analyze. So based on their sound, so short vowel and the long vowel based on their sound. So is short in pronunciation. That is what we call the short vowel. Okay. But the other one is So that is long vowel based on their pronunciation. Okay. And then sorry, I vowel, I, but I, we pronounce I, okay, I, but its long vowel is we see with the bar, upper, high pen. So I, I, I. So here also this E vowel are equal to the, double E, okay, in pronunciation. I, E, and then that is U in English, but in Pali, U, we pronounce U. So based on their pronunciation type, so we call it short vowel, A, I, U, and long vowel, we type with the long upper long, U, okay, long sign, U, U. So A, I, I, U, U, A, I, I, U, U. Okay, so they are short. And also, even though in Pali Make Easy, those I, U are not grouped by the gatra or plate or lingo or dante or lapio. So actually, so and are gatra. And are gatra. And E are so plato. But so and U, are, lapio. So here you see, no related to the vowel, no lingua, and the no danta in Pali. So they are lost. But in Sanskrit or in the Vedic, they have. So related to those, they are, place of articulation, sense of organ, where those alphabets come or arrive. But in Pali, already lost. We don't use. Okay. And then now, so A, I, I, U, U. So altogether 6. But the last 2 are only long. So A. So A is combination of the I. So A belong to the gatra and the E belong to the plateau. So if we pronounce I quickly, as much as we can. So quickly, at the time, it look like the A, A, in this way. And also their place of articulation are also both gatra and the plateau. And the last vowel, also only long one. Oh, that one also actually a diphthong, combination of the and the u. So is gatra, u is labial. So all come from those both place of articulation. I would become the all in this way. Okay, so now finally we can say three short vowels and then five long vowels. Three short vowels are a. Three short vowels are a, e, u. And then five long vowels are a, e, u, e, and o. Okay, e and the o. So now 33 consonant. 33 consonant. So that 33 consonant also can be divided into two groups. So 25 are, group consonant. So 5 by 5 group consonants, and the other 8 are so grouplets. Grouplet consonants. So and then among the 25 group consonants. So the first 5 are so gutturals. So actually, if we type that consonant alone, so here when we pronounce the okay, so if we measure the weight of the alphabet so has one metric or equal to 1 for So any alphabet which has weight of 1, so can pronounce completely. So like the e, u. But so here long one e, u, e, and the o. I already explained they are equal to the double and the double e and the double u. E also equal to the double here I. O also equal to the ow. Okay, that is that they can pronounce. So they have weight of double, a weight of 1 or weight of double, so they can pronounce. But so in each consonant of these 33 has only weight of a half weight. So it cannot pronounce in metric. So maybe when we learn the one, so in grammar, so refers to their measure, their weight of those alphabet, maybe so blink of eye. So refers to time for that one. Like the blink of eye. So single blink of eye is just or if we pronounce maybe double blink of eyes, equal to the time to last in double blink of eye. Or the other way, snap of finger like this. So one snap of finger is equal to the sound. But the other long one is equal to the double snaps of finger. So in this way also explained. But all of these consonants has not complete single blink of eye or single snap of finger. That is a consonant alone, so cannot be pronounced. Cannot be pronounced. But when we learn those consonants, maybe when I pronounce this ka sound, maybe just that. But I pronounce, together with the ka. That is here the point I want you to understand. This is not consonant, just too easily pronounced. I input. Actually, here when I say consonant, so it refers to just that K sign. Okay. But later, if we pronounce to be easy, maybe ka, ka, ga, ga, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, that is together with the sound. Okay, that point we need to understand. So ka and the ka and the ga and ga and nga. So if we pronounce consonant alone, maybe like that. We cannot pronounce completely. Okay. So that is easy to pronounce ka 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 with the sound. So and then here these 5 consonants come from the gutter. So that is they are related to gutter or throat. So that is they are called the gutter. And their order, what order also important to know that. So later, maybe, for example, when you see ka alone, okay, ka, okay. But sometimes, double consonant, for example, this word, eka, or maybe eki. So eki means I in Pali, eki means I. So you see, okay, is but this ka and ka, are dependent on the it sound. Okay, so such a double consonant or conjunct consonant we can see in word when we learn. Double consonant we see. So at the time, the point I want you to understand here, ka can be double with the ka itself. And then ka can be double with the ka. Okay. But never ka with the ga. Or ka with the ga. Or ka with the nga. So we never use in Pali. We never use. So that is based on that point here. After ga, we put the ka. Okay. This order is important to know. You see, and also this ka also. Ka. We never use ka. Sorry, ka. We never use. Only with this double. This form we use. So that is a what order. So easy to understand. This one is fa consonant, the second, and the third, fourth, and the fifth in this group. So that is why possible, possible the double consonant is ka and the ka. The same way this ka. So can be double with itself ka, and then ka. Okay. In this way we use when you see in the form like the eki, and then in the example ega mean edge of something or very tip of something. So tip, and also ega value. Okay, ega, and the last one is neze or negahita nga sound. So that negahita always together with the, so not follow. That is preceding nga and the ka and the nga and the ka and nga and the ka, nga and the ka. Okay, but so we never use nga. We never use nga. So based on that point, ka, ka. Okay, ka, ga, and nga. It is in the gatra. Later when you see the form. So that is why when we join two words, maybe the first word is ending in the ka, okay, and the second word is starting with the ga, okay. So at the time we make change to the single word. So we don't use this ga combination. You see, that possible one can be changed to the ga or ga. So one of them possible we will change. Such a changing later we will learn. That is this combination. So ga, so become double with itself, ka, and the ka become double with the ka. Okay, just that. And the ga become double with itself, ga, and the ga become double with the ga, like this. Okay, but this nga with the all of these four. But this nga, even though the ending one become fast, like this. For example, like the inga, or maybe binga, water, or like that. And then, sinkata, conditioned, and the, inga, so factor, and then like the inga mean maybe door pull or like that something. So in this way, before that, nga sound before the ga, and before the ga, and before the ka, and before the ga, in this way. Based on that point, okay. So now the same way to the following, ga, ka, ga, nga. Okay, in that order, based on that point. Or the other way, in the, so how to say, in the linguistic field, maybe aspirate, no aspirate, or a strong white alphabet, or unvoiced, or maybe that sound also they use. That is very, how to say, very advanced. So that is why I skipped such a usage, voice or unvoiced, aspirate or non-aspirate, just to understand easily. So first alphabet began with the first double, and the first alphabet began with the second double, in this way, like that. So okay, next. Oh, now already 1 hour. Okay, so for 10 minutes, if you have any question. Maybe something you are not clear to you. Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Venerable. Very clear.
Okay.
No question.
Okay.
No question.
Okay. So if no question, let's.
I do.
Hmm?
Sorry, I tried to raise my hand, but for some reason it did not get raised.
Okay. Okay.
Hand raised. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for the consonant alphabet, I'm curious. So for the ka, can you go down where ka, ga, nga?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say ka is short, ka is long, ga, one short, one long. What about the nga? Is that short or long?
Which one you mean, long or short?
Like how for the ka, ga, nga, right?
Right.
So my understanding is the first sound, like, so like for me, it's like a short sound, right? And then with the H, it's a bit longer than the first one, like at the double.
Okay. So for that point, we don't say short or long. We say voice or we say, aspirate and non-aspirate. Hard sound is aspirate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So ga is non-aspirate. Ka is aspirate sound. We don't say, short or long.
Okay. So what about the last one? Nga.
No. So only nga. We don't have the non-aspirate. We call the non-aspirate. No hard, you see?
So let's say ka. So like, okay, the not aspirate one can go together with the not aspirate or go together with the aspirate one.
Mm-hmm.
Two aspirate cannot go together.
Two aspirate cannot go together.
They're like ka, the second and the second, they don't go together, you see?
Right.
And then why the last one go before the ka, nga, like, with the nga, with the dot, we go with the ka and nga and nga. I don't know how to say it.
how to say, okay, because of your question, I will answer. Actually, I'm worried, so to be confused to the other. So, okay, this nga, and then nya, and na, and then na, and then ma. So they are the end of group consonant. You remember?
Yes, Pea.
So you see here, nga, nya, na, and the ma. They are end of their respective group consonants. So actually, the purpose of putting them in the end is they are very related to the this sound nasal. The last one nasal. So how they are related? They are interchangeable. For example, when we join two words, we call the euphonic or sandy. So for example, the first one is Sam. Okay. And then the second one is Boda. Okay. And when we join, so other than we don't use this nasal. Instead, we change to the ma. Sam, Boda. So the same way, this nasal sound can be changed to the nga, nya, na, or ma. But that is based on the following consonant, you see. If the following consonant is labial, that nasal is changed to the labial ending. If the following consonant is guttural, that nasal is changed to the, one of the, end of the guttural nga. Like this. For example, Sam and the kara. Okay. So at that time when you change like this, sankara, changing like this. So the change of this nasal is very related to the following consonant. Maybe because of that one, those nga, nya, na, and ma take their position before the everyone.
Understood. But nga, nya, na, ma, they not nasal, no?
Maybe we call the nasal as well, but they are the ending consonant of the each group. Very related to the nasal, maybe semi-nasal, can we say, roughly?
Okay, got it, Pea.
Mm-hmm.
But you see why the two aspirate not form together?
Two aspirate not form together, right.
Why? If we not say short or long, if we use
maybe a language is rooted in our tongue, right? So if the word or pronunciation or a word is difficult to pronounce, so that word, getting fade away, getting lost later. So here, ka, okay. But this one is with the aspirate sound. Exactly pronunciation should be, kaha, 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 kaha. Maybe 1.5. But in Myanmar, we pronounce ka very clearly. But so maybe sangho or ekaha, like the ha sound. So quite a little bit difficult than the, ka or ka. So because of that point, two aspirate sound never become double. Maybe at the ancient time they may use, but later lost because of that's the difficult point to pronounce.
Understood, yeah. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Okay, so if no question, so let's stop here by saying sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Good night.
Okay, good night.
Venerable.
So see you the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night, Venerable. Thank you.